Well, YouTube, true crime tips, and everything else. I guess it seems to be a little bit an official Mr. Dirty Laundry. But I'm gonna tell you something. Numbnuts here. Fart chair Detective Arch. Yeah. First thing that came to my mind, and I'm not jumping the gun on this, because there's been things where old bone fragments found, and it wasn't even the right person, and my wife just read, as well in this case, that there was 5 other bodies found. Go figure. I've, in my lifetime, seeing this kind of manhunt go down. I don't think I've ever seen anything more, unless it was someone, I don't know, like a friggin' serial killer or like the marathon bombers. But these people, the law enforcement took a lot amount of time hunting this kid down. And it just seemed a little bit more than extreme to me, because of the simple fact that who the hell was searching for them other bodies? You found 5 other bodies searching for Brian Laundrie, but who are these 5 people? And to me, that's one of the main things I'd like to get out of this story. Who are the 5 people missing? And how long have they been missing? But the main factor is, like I said, when I first heard this, I'm not jumping the gun and hooting, hollering, and hooray! Because, the first thing that came to mind was that just a decoy to throw law enforcement off track. But, one will have to imagine, because one's gonna think about, don't get me wrong, if it is his body in fragments, then I would say yes, okay. He took the cowardly way out. A real loser way. Didn't suffer no consequences, gave up, let himself die, or killed himself. And or he found a way to lead people off their tracks. Wouldn't it be insane? It's just a thought, theory, idea. I'm not saying this happened, and I'm damn for sure that if this is his body, and it most probably is, one would think, what if he dug up a family member's body and placed it around his belongings? Because that has been done before. Know what I'm saying? You got them movies of perfect one, Resurrection, H2O. You got Michael Myers at the end, traveling in the van with Laurie Strode. She brings him out in the middle of nowhere, slams on the brakes, runs the bastard over, rolls him down the hill, cuts off his friggin' head, and it's the wrong guy. And, there's another movie coming to my head, but I cannot remember the name of it. But they were talking about someone that got buried. Well, who's buried over there at this cemetery? And I can remember that, coming out. And they got the thunder and the lightning. And right, who's really buried? This wouldn't be the first time someone fakes their own death. But wouldn't it be ironic if the kid figured out a way to get DNA bones from a family member and put them there? Just my thoughts, theories, ideas. Somehow. Decoy. But that's just my imagination. My crazy thoughts, theories, ideas. But that was the first thing that came to my mind. Oh, Brian Laundrie found human remains, and they're saying they're his. But yet, it could be somebody else. Well, just something crazy to think about. But, whatever. If it is Brian Laundrie, then you know what? This is where the law that needs to come in. Doesn't matter how old your kid is. 25, 30 years old. If that kid has an intellectual disability or some kind of type of mental health, and they think that they can tell you that they're all set to go out into the big, wide open sky and land and think they're gonna do this crazy ass trip. Well, you know what? There should be a law to somehow be also able to have a little bit of control on that trip. Because these days, I tell you, there ain't no kid. If they ain't got no street smarts, there's no kid out there ready for this open, big world. I mean, if it wasn't Brian that went off and killed, this poor girl, it probably would have been a serial killer. Would have been someone else, something this, something that. Something. Of course, there they are. And I mean, they look like two happy souls. Ready to take on the world and ready to be with each other. But mental health kicked in. In the law enforcement, right, if they see a mental health situation, which is different from domestic violence, because mental health needs to be separated. I mean, don't get me wrong, so don't domestic violence. But mental health, you need to stop that. Just as well as domestic. And instead of putting them in jail and away from each other for the night, they should have been sent straight home. Straight home. Because obviously one of the two was homesick. One of the two couldn't deal with the other one's tempers. And doesn't matter who had the temper. Who was the victim. Who this, who that. All that matters is they should have been sent straight home. Now they're both dead. If that is him. And that being said, 2 lives taken too soon. And it's sad. No family, no wedding, No giving their daughter away at the wedding. No best man for this kid. No nothing. Just the simple destroyed 2 lives that they didn't know what it was going to be like, but tried it anyways. And one of them should have been smart enough to say, hey, I've had enough. This is not working. And the police should have had the brains enough to say, this ain't working. You've been out here how long? Oh, I think you two, it's time to go home. And that's the first thing I would have said, because you want to know why? Because I'm educated in mental health. I have mental health. My kids have mental health. I had a great aunt that had mental health. I had a grandmother that had mental health. A brother that had mental health. A father, a mother, all had mental health. And because of my family and their lifestyles, they brought me into other people's mental health. And I've learned a lot of things from a lot of people growing up in this evil world of people with mental health. And that's where I would have said, you too, right, time to wrap it up and go home. Yeah, you guys can see the mental health behaviors, but you do nothing to stop it. You stop domestic, you throw that bastard in jail, or you throw that woman in jail. Who's ever the perpetrator, they go to jail, they get a record, and that's that. Mental health, it's not like that. And this is living proof right here, this case. Right here, that this mental health was treated the wrong way because no one has experience in it. And these two should have been sent straight home. Because, right, if they're not going to arrest one another, who's beating up who slapped who did this, who yelled at who, there's witnesses, who did what first, there's witnesses in the restaurant, there's witnesses throughout the friggin' whatever witnesses were there that witnessed all this, and the police still did nothing. Oh, there's a mental health issue. Then there should be a law that they should be sent home if they're on a trip like this. And that's just insane, you know. To me, my son, like I say, I'm not exposing what he has for disabilities, but I almost lost my oldest son last year because of his disability and what someone did to him. And yeah, I wasn't having that. And as much as he's, you know, as old he is now, still he has to have, you know, guidance through life. And right now, I don't think my son's guidance of what he wants to do is not good. And he knows now what he has done, and that's what puts him up a little bit more above the level of the game. He knows what had happened, and he knows now, right, that if he would have stayed longer at these people's wrath, at these people's dwelling, he probably would have been dead this year. Because like I said, the woman that had my son, 4 armed robberies for drugs at that. And I mean, this ain't got nothing to do with this case, but it's got to do with mental health. And it's got to do with I know experience, and it's got to do with these kids of today need guidance. Especially these two needed a lot more guidance. It's not, oh, I'm 22 years old, I got a job, and I saved up my money, and we're leaving. No, ain't like that no more. Guidance still needs to be put forth, put in place. And that's the end of the story. Mental health is no joke. Mental health, whatever you're diagnosed with. Now, if you're a violent mental health patient, and all you want to do is harm people, then you get what you deserve. But if you just depressed and things draw you down, and you're good one day, and next day you're screaming at someone like these two, and you're just trying to level off your emotions, you need more guidance on that. And you cannot get away with being on your own with that either. But know what, he did wrong, but I'm still gonna give this kid a moment of silence. If he's dead. If it is something that he comes out crazy in the end and fools and tricks everybody, I take everything back. But this kid had mental health, she had mental health, and there should have been more guidance there, and the police should have sent them home. So I'm giving them both, once again, moment of silence. Sorry for the truck. But some of my thoughts and theories on this, folks, and mental health is no joke. And more people need to be educated. That's right. Get some education on this channel, that's for sure. Because I've been around the crazies, around the depressed mood swings, and I've been around violence, mental violence. So, oh yeah, folks, it's out there, and we need to learn more about it, especially people that just ain't got a clue. Till that next video, be safe, take care. And I hope this ain't a hoax. I hope this ain't something that he schemed, huh? Decoy, But if it is him and they prove it, I take everything back. But if it is he decoyed, I take everything back from that too. So I'm leaving it at that. Be safe, take care, out.